morning and welcome back to CityLine. With me, I have three fabulous individuals who are here to talk about the Foss Waterway Seaport and especially the Art Afloat exhibit. So please join me. And welcoming back Mr. Wesley Winhart. You are still the Executive Director of Foss Waterway Seaport Museum. Makes me very happy to say that. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you. This beautiful woman next to you, Miss Casey Whitaker, you are a graphic and glass artist. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here on CityLine.
It's wonderful.
And this, rounding out the big couch here, Mr. Mark Ryan. Hello.
Hi there. Thank you.
Good morning. You are also a graphic artist, and both of you are part of the Urban Sketchers.
Yes.
So welcome to CityLine. All right, Mister. It's been a very busy summer for the Foss Waterway Seaport. So what do you have coming up?
Well, the weather's helping.
Yes, it is.
We are still offering stand-up paddleboard, kayaking, and yoga paddleboarding and sailing lessons down at the Foss Waterway Seaport. And we just finished Maritime Fest. Thousands of people came down thanks to the support of the Port of Tacoma and Tote and Key Bank. We had 2,200 people that took port tours. Wow. Got out on the water, saw the real thing. We had boats a-building and boats afloat and pirates, and all kinds of activities. And we had the Urban Sketchers on site.
That is incredible. So you also have a robust rental income from private events that support the programs. How has that been?
Well, that's a generous word when you say robust. You know, it's all relative, but it does help us keep the lights on and the doors open. And we've had a lot of great organizations like CityLine, City Club was down with the Lieutenant Governor just 2 nights ago. We have Target Resources coming up. And we're now using the venue and in a much more creative way. We're keeping all of our boats often in place, and the clients are having their dining and their dancing and their events around that. We do ceremonies of life, we do celebrations of life, and we do weddings. So it's coming along fine, but there's always time to plan that Christmas or holiday function.
Yeah, there is.
And there's always another time we could have another event at our place.
Absolutely, especially on the water. The water is, I'm a rain or shine. I love the water. That's why we live here. Absolutely. So one of your current exhibits features the Tacoma Urban Sketchers, and you've got a great poster here. Who designed the poster?
That was Mark that did that.
Hello, poster. Mr. Mark. A little bit of your handiwork here. Very nice.
Thank
so,
you.
Mark, are these your sketches or just collective sketches?
They're not all my sketches. There are some sketches from the other people in our group.
They're beautiful. So how did this exhibit come to be?
Well, I think that a few years ago, the Urban Sketchers were bumping around town looking for places to sketch.
Yep.
One of our staff members saw them and started the relationship, and you know, it's been now 2 or 3 years, and lo and behold, we have a show up now that we're going to be talking about, and we have one coming back in the fall. We're so excited, and I think the best is yet to come.
I think so too. So Casey, give us the information here. What is urban sketching?
Well, it's not doing just a still life. It's capturing where you are at that time and place, and using any media that you wish, you tell the story honestly. And so in other words, you're not cartooning or drawing imaginary things. You are capturing the essence of the moment, and that's the whole idea behind it.
Like this captures the moment right here. This one does. I mean, this is a beautiful sketch. It's dilapidated. It's messy. It looks like this tug has been through a lot of activity, but it also has got some history and some intrigue. And this is so serene and so beautiful.
And you'll notice a total variation in styles and media.
Absolutely.
And
So, Mark, how do you become a member of Tacoma Urban Sketchers? Is there dues?
So there are no dues. In fact, membership is as simple as just showing up.
Wow.
We get together on the first Saturday of a month, and it's normally a different location, somewhere in and around the city of Tacoma or Pierce County. And we show up at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning, make some announcements, and then get back together at 12:30, and everybody has an opportunity to share what they had done that day. So it's strictly membership by showing up.
Oh, I love that. So it's a collective, it's a family, it's a group that shows up there. So what materials do you use?
Sketchbooks, and
Yeah.
you know, it's an inexpensive medium to use, and there are hundreds of different types of sketchbooks. Pens, pencils. A lot of us use a small traveling watercolor set if we wish to add a little color to the picture, and that's about it.
So if I were to show up, and where would I get my supplies? Where do you get your supplies?
You know what? I buy some of my stuff at Joann Fabric.
There we go.
There's arts and craft supply here in Tacoma. There are a number of different places.
That you kind of fill up that toolkit. So, and in terms of sketching, so question for both of you, because I'm sure you sketch outside of those Saturdays that you all come together. I mean, otherwise you could not be as good as both of you are. Where do you sketch? Casey, where do you sketch?
Well, I really want to work on people, because people in a sketch make it more germane. You know, I mean, without people, it's just still life. Mm-hmm. And so I'm working on doing people better, so I seek out where people are. Well, the only place I have found that they sit for long periods of time is the taverns and the restaurants. And so I do a lot of sketching. You'd think I'm an alcoholic, but
reminds me of an episode of Cheers where you're down at the bar sketching.
Yeah, because the people stay, you know, you just sketch. And
I love that. Do you have to ask their permission, or do you just
no, they're in public.
I love that. So Mark,
and my art, it could be anybody.
well, that's true. You don't know if it's just you or the crowd.
That's right.
And Mark, where do you sketch?
You know what? There are lots of interesting places that Tacoma provides. The Foss Waterway is obviously one. Theater District, Stadium, Wright Park is
Wright Park
favorite.
came to mind.
So there are just lots of places here in Tacoma.
Point Defiance,
Yes.
lots of places.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So how do we find urban sketchers?
If you Google Urban Sketchers Tacoma, you will find 2 or 3 different references. And we are also on Facebook. And like Mark had said, there's no dues. All you have to do is indicate you're interested, and you're ready to go.
No skill level required. Mark.
Actually, we have such a wide variety of skill levels, but absolutely none required to.
So me, Miss Paint by Numbers, I could show up and just kind of do a wash of something. It'd be
Absolutely.
fine.
That's right.
So you mentioned it's on a Saturday. So what happens if my schedule does not line up with your schedule to sketch, Casey?
Well, one of the things that is so nice is that in the blog or other ways of communicating on Facebook, you could say, I can't make Saturday. Who would like to do an impromptu sketch Thursday afternoon at 2 at, say, Point Defiance or something? And then other people would chime in that they would join you rather than you joining the determined time.
That's lovely. And let's talk about, can kids, pets come?
Children are only allowed if the parents are there with them.
Supervised.
Right.
Yes.
So it's not a group that you can drop off the kids and
Thank you.
come back and pick them up.
Here we go.
And we sketch outdoors, and so if you have a pet, you have to use your discretion. But
Makes sense.
But sometimes there'll be a couple of our artists with their dogs laying at their feet of their chair, and they're sitting there working, and the dog is happy to be out.
I love that.
Yeah.
So before we get to who do we need to thank here, Mr. Wesley, for all this great work in this exhibit. I want to find out from you, Casey, difference between an archival print and a giclée.
Well, giclée is archival.
Okay.
And it's a French word. And a lot of times sketchers don't do, the book might be small and they might want to have the drawing be larger. So you take it to a printer who prints on archival paper, meaning it doesn't turn yellow and fall apart after a while. And they use ink that is a pigment rather than a dye, and it holds the color and doesn't fade away. And so this is something you want to look for because it means what you're purchasing is as good as the original.
There we go.
And so giclée is the French word for this process, but not always known by even the printers themselves, you know. So, but archival, they do understand.
That's fabulous. A little tip there. All right, so let's talk about who do we need to thank here, Mr. Wesley?
Well, I think first and foremost, you've got to thank the real people. The sketchers.
Yes, thank you.
You know, the show Art Afloat is on until about the 27th of August. Come on down, check it out. If you'd like to purchase, please feel free. They've got some wonderful frame prints for purchase. And then one thing to keep in mind is they're coming back in the fall for kind of a Christmas, October, November, December show at the Seaport. Ooh. So please keep that in mind for Christmas gift giving.
Yes.
But I would like to thank, you know, first the sketchers and the organization they have. I'd like to just say that it kind of fits in within our mandate because we are, you know, protecting and talking about maritime heritage, past, present, and future. And we've always have a changing source of subject material, and of course with the boats on the waterway there's always changes going on there. So I guess first and foremost the sketchers themselves.
There we go. Thank you. I want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to prepare for this show, to sketch for the show, and then to be there to answer questions and to educate. Because this is what it's all about. That's that full 180 as it comes around. And it's wonderful to have this happen right in our own backyard. So thank you.
You're welcome.
To all three of you here on the comfy couch for making that happen.
It's one of the things that makes Tacoma a wonderful place.
It is. Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
So much. All right, when we come back after this quick break, we will have Croatia Canova here to talk about their upcoming festival. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.